Hi everyone, I'm Michael Manrique and I'm one of the Habit Guys. We teach realtors prospecting habits so they finally become top producing agents. And welcome to the Realtor Habits Podcast, where agents don't need more stuff, they need better habits. Before we get into today's episode, I will let you know this episode is brought to you by our Habit Guys Facebook group. We all want to prospect consistently and be more organized. Well, to do that, you need to think, do, and act like a top producer. Watch us prospect live and teach you every week for free how to get more expired listings, FSBOs listings, how to connect with your sphere so you don't sound salesy, but instead make friends. Learn all the highs and lows that come with prospecting and get answers to your questions in real time. All you have to do is visit us at www.habitguys.com/Facebook. Again, that's habitguys.com/Facebook, and learn all the skills top producers use in their day-to-day business. If you know anyone that can gain value from this podcast, please do us a huge favor and share it with them. We're here to help as many realtors as possible, and we appreciate your help to do so. All right, let's get into today's episode. Today's episode's called, What If Call Reluctance Wasn't Bad? I would say the most common reason students come into our coaching program is to overcome what's commonly known as call reluctance. Simply put, call reluctance is a realtor's inability to make calls not due to physical limitations, right? Because just about anyone can pick up a phone, dial 10 digits, and press call. It's a mental limitation where our states of feeling and thinking grab our attention and prevent us from making those calls. So in this episode, I want to talk about a fundamental shift in the way that we perceive call reluctance in an effort to help you move forward and make those calls. So what if call reluctance wasn't bad? Yeah. Stick with me here for a second. What if call reluctance was actually a natural process to get good at things? And in fact, it is. You see, call reluctance comes with discomfort, right? You want to call it fear. You want to call it a question of the unknown, right? But that doubt, that discomfort is actually been proven to be the gateway to allowing our brain to change and grow and get better in certain aspects or certain objectives in our lives. And the same is applied for prospecting and making calls to your sphere, to cold leads, to hot leads, to warm leads. It's the same process. And all that needs to change here is really, what does call reluctance mean to you? Does it mean that you should try something else? Maybe do social media, maybe go door knocking, maybe do some other activity that maybe can lead to some sort of success in real estate? Or does it mean that when you feel that call reluctance that I just can't do this, I gotta quit, I gotta do something else altogether? Or does it mean something else that just gets you doing things that you can't even imagine yourself doing, like cutting the grass outside or checking your phone carrier plan? This is very common because this is how we are wired as human beings. When we face a difficult situation, a situation where generally either there's a negative association with a past experience, such as not wanting to speak to strangers, or speaking in public, or speaking in front of a class, and you associate that same emotional experience and hesitancy with prospecting or making calls, then that's normal. Now, what's not normal is you allowing a system that is antiquated in the sense that it no longer serves you because you want to be a top producing agent. And to be a top producing agent, you have to connect with people. And the best, most efficient, second most effective way to connect with people is making calls. So this mindset shift is where it all stems from. Understanding that, call reluctancy isn't necessarily bad. It's actually a gateway to getting better at making calls. And this is the same logic applied to just about most things in life. You think about a baby learning to walk. You see them crawl and get up and fall, crawl and get up and fall. And they do it again and again and again until they're walking. And then guess what? They'll fall again. And then they'll get up and they'll do it again. And then they'll fall eventually again. And they get up and they continue walking and running. But they don't, because they fall, maybe once or twice after they were walking, don't say, oh, that's it. I'm going to go check on my health insurance or check on my phone plan. No, they just keep getting up and walking. And we know this to be true, right? The general slogan out there, practice makes perfect, right? When you teach kids sports, when you go about life learning certain subjects and trying to get good grades in school, what do? A teacher instructs us. We do classwork, we do homework, we might take a quiz, and then we have more instruction, and then we study, and then we have a test, and then we get a good grade if we implement all those layers of reflection and review. At any of those points, do we say, oh, you know what? I'm just going to do something else. Well, if you do, you're obviously not going to get a good grade. But this is the difference, right? Maybe you got a bad grade in a certain class because you didn't care about the class. You didn't care about the subject matter. But guess what? You care about being a real estate agent, about being a successful real estate agent. So this is where, again, understanding fundamentally that there's a different mindset that we can have towards failure, towards errors, towards mistakes. And that's the mindset of seeing every failure, every mistake as an opportunity for growth, as an opportunity to improve, as an opportunity to get better. Because that is biologically the reality of the situation. Now you might be saying, wait a second, some people, they do it faster. Oh, they just speak better. They just do this and this and this. Yeah, they do. It could be due to possibly genetics. It could be due possibly to having some other experience in their past that is similar to what they're about to embark on as a real estate agent. But it doesn't matter. The process is the process. They still need to start from somewhere. They're still going to make mistakes at some level. Think of it as a spectrum. But how do you perceive that failure, that mistake, that error? Do you perceive it as trying to do something else? Do you perceive it as quitting? Or do you perceive it as an opportunity for improvement? Because what I'm telling you here is that it's always an opportunity for improvement, biologically. It falls upon you to take advantage of it. So next time you feel call reluctance, I want you to think, be mindful. Once you're done feeling this call reluctance, I want you to realize, wait a second, you know what? This sense of fear, this sense of the unknown isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's the beginning, it's the gateway to growth. It's the gateway for improvement. It's the gateway for the opportunities to allow my goals to be a reality. All right, so there you have it. So that's how we can shift the way that we look at call reluctance. And then we could start making more calls. Hope you found that helpful. So we'll wrap it up here. So in closing, here is the missing piece to your business. It's accepting that when you know better, you do not necessarily do better. You do better when you change your habits. Let us help.